Use of shall and will and should. In England, shall is used to explain the simple future for first person, I and we. As in, shall we meet by the river will should be used in the simple future for all other persons. Using will in the first person would express determination on the part of the speaker, as in we will finish this project by tonight by goal. Using shall in second and third person will indicate some kind of promise about the subject, as in this shall be revealed to you in good time. This use is certainly acceptable in the US, although shall is used for less frequently. The distinction between the two is often obscured by the contraction, which is the same for both verbs in the verb that we solve. Shall for anything other than politic question, suggestion, and element of permission in the first person. Should we go now? Should I call a doctor for you? In the second sentence, many writers would use should interest, although should in somewhat more tentative than shall. In the US, to express the future tense, the verb will is used in all other cases. Shall is often used in journal situation, legal or legalistic document, minutes to meeting, and etc. To express obligation even with third person and second person constructions. The board of direction shall be responsible for payment to shareholder. The Kholik president shall report financial shortfall to the executive direction each semester. Should is usually replaced nowadays by would. It is still used, however, to mean doctor, as in you really should do that. If you think that was amazing, you should have seen it. Have seen it last night. In British English and formal American English, one is up to heard or read should with the first person. Pronouns in expression of linking such as I should prefer like iced tea, and in the active expression of opinion such as I should have thought so. And enough for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Priyanjaya Gumilangsakti. I will explain about uses do, does, and did. In the simple present tense, do will function as an auxiliary to express the negative and to ask question. Does, however, is substitute for third person, singular subject in the present tense. Did work with all persons, singular and plural. The example is, I don't study at night. She doesn't work here anymore. Do you attend this school? Does he work here? These verbs also work as short answer with the main verb omitted. The example is, does she work here? No, she doesn't work here. With yes or no question, the form of do goes in front of the subject, and the main verb comes after the subject. The example is, did your grandmother know Turman? Do wildflower grow in your backyard? Form of do are useful in expressing similarity and different in conjunction with so and neither. The example is, my wife had spinach and so does my son. My wife doesn't like spinach, neither do I. To is also helpful because it means you don't have repeat the verbs. The example is, very excellent language studies, so did his brother. Raul studies as hard as his sister does. The so-called emphatic do has many uses in English. To add emphasis to an entire sentence. The example is, he doesn't like spinach, he really does. To add emphasis to an imperative. The example is, to come in actually softens the command. Frequency adverb. To add emphasis to frequency adverbs. Its example is, he never did understand his father. And she always does manage to hurt her mother's feelings. The next is to contradict a negative statement. The example is, you didn't do your homework, did you? Oh, but I did finish it. The next is to ask a clarifying question about previous negative statement. The example is, Ridwell didn't take the tools. Then, who did take the tools? The next is to indicate a strong concession. The example is, although the Ellingtons denied any wrongdoing, they did return some of gifts. In the absence of other modals auxiliary, a form of do in use in question and negative construction now as the get passive. The example is, did Iwan get selected by the committee? And the audience didn't get relied up by the politician. I think enough for me. Thank you.
In here, I want to explain about modals auxiliary. I want to explain about can or could. Can or could be used to declare for ability. In the ability, we can put can in the present or future sentence. For example, I can speak Chinese fluently. And for could, we can put could for the ability in the past sentence. For example, I could always beat you at tennis when we were kids. And for request, we can put can in the informal sentence. For the example, can you take me to the Victoria Station? And for the could, we can put could for request in the polite sentence. For example, could you lock the door when you leave? And next, for asking permission. In the asking permission, we can put can in the informal sentence. For the example, can I borrow your car? And for could, we can put could in the polite sentence. For the example, could I choose my own doctor? And we can put can or could in the and for allowed things. In allowed things, we can put can in the present or future sentence. For the example, you can take a holiday tomorrow if you want. For could, we can put could in the past sentence. For example, when I first started this job, we could take a holiday when we wanted. And next, for the possibility. In the possibility, we can put can in the general possibility. For the example, American automobile makers can make better cars. They think there's a profit in it. And for could, we can put could in the specific event. For the example, we could always spend the afternoon just sitting around talking.
In here, I want to explain about modals auxiliary. I want to explain about will and would. Will and would used to form conditional sentence. The difference is will for conditional sentences type 1, whereas would for conditional sentences type 2 and 3. Example from will: I have chance, I will go to Australia. An example from would: if I were rich, I would buy ship. The word will is used to talk about future or future events, and the word would is the past or past form of will. Will is used in informal. For example, will you forgive me? And would is used in formal. For example, would you mind singing song for me?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Inne Permatasari. Is a talk about is modal, as of my and midnight. Two of the more troublesome modal auxiliaries are my and midnight. When as in the context of getting or seeking ration. Midnight is the past tense of my. Midnight is considerably more transitive than my. Example, I left class early. If else, faces all my work and I am really quickly. Midnight, I leave early. In the context of experiencing possibility, my and midnight are interchangeably present and future forms, and midnight plus have plus past participle is the past form. Example, she midnight be my for next semester. She might be my editor next semester. She midnight have advised me not to take biology. On fit concerning the sense of possibility in my with the implication of midnight, then are his political situation has not is perfect quality for intersect. Let's stay there. Ben, a helicopter crash at the airport. In has entire report before all the facts are Bhaetiel, a newscaster, could say that the pilot might have been injured after we discussed that the pilot is in fact and alright. Then newscaster can now say that the pilot might haven't been injured because it is a helicopter situation that has not accelerated. Other example, a body has been indicated after much work by the edition if it might report that without this bicycling work, the body might have remained undefined since the body was in fact indication midnight is called the 4. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.